So today we're reviewing
John Wick Chapter 4.
Let's start today.
John Wick Chapter 4. We have skipped multiple movies to see this movie. This is a movie that I was really excited for, and about 30 minutes after seeing it, Jake's got the shirt on. And Jake, what were your initial thoughts of John Wick Chapter 4?
I'm honest, I can't even contain my excitement from just how much I love this movie. This was an absolutely perfect movie in every way you could ever imagine. And
life-changing.
It really was life-changing. The whole time I was watching, I'm so happy that I'm able to watch this right now and be a part of this. And I can't wait to see it again. And I'm just so overwhelmed with happiness from this movie. Because, we had high expectations going to this thing. Everyone around that we're watching saying it's perfect and all this stuff. There's just no way. But it was a perfect movie. And there's just too much to even talk about. But it is a perfect movie. And you got to go out and check this thing out.
Yeah, I had high expectations for this movie, and it blew it out of the water. There is not one scene in this movie that I thought I could complain about. I don't have maybe little tiny nitpicks, maybe. If I really had to nitpick, but this movie was unbelievable. Best movie of the year, best John Wick movie in my opinion right now, and honestly, I want to go back and see it right now. Yeah. Freaking midnight. I want to go back and see it right now. I was running 2 hours of sleep, and I still love this movie. So
I feel like part of me died and part of me was reborn.
But why don't we go into our positives?
Man, like I said...
Any positives?
The whole thing is a positive. Let's just start with the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Baba Yaga. He is literally what carries this movie. And that's the thing is, he is what you expect him to be. But everything about it, from the music, the acting, the action sequences, I had to start there. The action sequences were they kept one-upping themselves. And it makes you sit back and I was smiling ear to ear. And just couldn't believe what I was watching with just seeing certain things play out. The use of just special effects and how realistic this thing looked. And you throw in the fact you give the perfect scenery, perfect backgrounds for shots and scenes. The music, the acting, everything about it. You combine all that stuff, it's just a perfect movie. And the characters they kept adding in from the past, new characters, was just above and beyond what I ever could have thought this movie could be. And literally everything is a positive. I mentioned the key things for me. It's hard to get into specific positives without spoiling anything. But I have to just say the acting, the scenery, the action, the music, and the overarching storyline, just this universe and the world building was just phenomenal.
Did you see any glaring negatives with the film?
I really didn't.
No, seriously, the positives are the action, the other action, and more action. No, the action, I love action in movies, and this is everything you go to the movies to see. I was just saying when we were leaving the theater, if you take one of these fight scenes out of this movie, put it in a random movie, I'd say it's my favorite movie of the year. But it is amazing action scene after another amazing action scene after another. It just never ends. Okay, no, it does end because it goes to great slow parts where it's just enough of a slow part to get you ready for the next action scene. There's funny scenes, there's emotional scenes, all the characters are amazing. There are multiple amazing villains in this movie. Unbelievable villains.
Adversaries.
That are just epic. People you don't really know who a villain is necessarily in these movies because John Wick is an assassin.
Right.
But there's just amazing characters and unbelievably memorable. I feel like I watched a whole trilogy in the theater. There's so many amazing characters in this movie. The characters, the acting, the action, the sound effects, the gun designs, the new weapons. I could go on forever with positives. But why don't we go into our negatives?
Negatives for this movie for me.
Any glaring negatives?
That's really, there were no negatives. There are no Vlado. There's literally no negatives. If I had to give any kind of negative, it's...
there are some.
Okay, hold on. If I had to give one, it's me nitpicking. Okay, maybe there's certain things I wanted to see in the movie that I didn't see, just from previous films I was maybe hoping to see some people come back kind of thing. that kind of frustrated me a little bit. I'm not saying who, but
yeah.
I mean, but there were certain things about that I maybe wanted to see talked about in this movie, and then I would also have to say, I did want to see kind of a battle one-on-one between two characters in this movie that never happened per se. So that was kind of frustrating from what this character did.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, there really were no negatives. The runtime to me, it was a long runtime, but I never felt it. Like, it was just, the whole thing was, there's so much action that you almost need a break sometimes.
I didn't want it to end.
I know. There's certain scenes that you think in your mind, like in other movies, you're like, man, I wish that scene was longer. This takes that, what you want, and just, it extends it.
There are negatives.
Yeah, that's true. But there really were no negatives in this movie, and it's a perfect movie.
I think the only negatives, and this is extreme nitpicks, I can't really go into my bigger negative without spoiling it, but obviously, John Wick is a freaking tank and is taking on a lot of guys. So obviously there gets to become a point where he is just fighting so many people at the same time. It's just like, I mean, the realistic aspect of it. I mean, he's obviously a legend, but he is fighting so many people at certain points. It's like, how in the world is he not dying? Like, I mean, he's fighting an entire stadium of people at the same time. He's fighting a million people at the same time. So, but honestly, it's hard to complain about that. And the other thing is there's some points of like you said, the main villain. There's a lot of different adversaries in this movie. And there was one thing from the trailer that I thought was a little misleading. It's one minor nitpick of a negative that honestly I don't really even care about. But since we're bringing up negatives, I guess I'll bring it up.
Just for us, like, we love like boss shots and just like long walks and just epic shots, and there was just so many.
Like Aquaman.
And I was like, we should have mentioned this at the beginning. Want to give our thoughts to, I think, is it Lance Reddick?
Yeah, so Lance Reddick, yeah.
Yeah, guys, Lance Reddick, rest in peace. It was first of all, I mainly knew him from his role in the John Wick saga, and he's always been such a phenomenal actor. His biggest impact in the movies, I'd say probably in the third one. Did a great job when he fought alongside John Wick and had a boss walk out the room. But obviously was a great actor and great asset to this franchise. And obviously it's just horrible to see him pass away that young, and just thoughts and prayers to his family and friends for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That was something we should have mentioned at the beginning. But obviously, this movie was just so phenomenal. So what a heck of a movie, though, for it to be his last movie.
Right,
for this
seriously.
movie.
You can't get better.
But yeah, because there's so many things we're talking about in spoilers. But obviously his passing, obviously rest in peace.
Yeah.
And so why don't we go into our final thoughts and score?
Like I said again, guys, I walked out of the theater, couldn't have been happier. I'm so happy with just watching the movie. As a John Wick fan, I mean, I listen to music daily at times.
A lot of new songs.
And the fact that, it's just, once again, like...
Even the credits were epic.
The credits were epic. Like, you one-upped everything. And you know what? I don't even start thinking about where does this fit in line with other movies, because I just got out of the theater. Because the first one's always going to have a special place in my heart with just the storyline, just the dog and all that stuff. I mean, it's hard to top that kind of motivation. But for this movie to just be as great as it was, and as the fourth film in a saga, I mean, how many sagas like this can have one of their best movies happen this late, and it's crazy. And it's just, as a fan, I want to say thank you to the director. I'm not sure if it's been the same director in each movie or not, but whoever's in charge of the rights of this universe, this is how you make a universe. And it's here in 2023, getting good movies, getting great movies is very far and few between. And we've lost the ability to give the fans what they want. But this movie proves that you can still give the fans what they want and make a dang good movie, make a perfect movie, and it's a great experience, because it was just a phenomenal movie. So this really does show, and I hope it does great at the box office. I'm hearing good things already early on. It's still too early to say, but I really hope this movie does great in the box office, and I'm so excited to see what happens in the future of this franchise. So I'd have to give my final score for this movie. If you couldn't tell already, John Wick Chapter 4 is without a doubt a 10 out of 10. I would go higher if I could. 10 out of 10. And I'm ready to fight alongside John Wick right now.
I'm ready to go. Run the streets.
I'm ready to go over that road.
No. So, yeah, like Jake said, seriously, this is what happens when you have people making a movie that care about actually making a movie and freaking care about the action in a movie. People want to go see action. You can tell they focus on the story, the characters, and seriously, like, it is so satisfying to go to a movie, just watch a movie. I mean, there's been a lot of movies that haven't delved into stupid crap, yeah. But like to go into a movie that just people that obviously love filmmaking, love John Wick, and love these characters, and this movie is just. I'm gonna be looking up scenes right now. Don't go see it in theaters. Don't look up scenes.
Go check it out.
Or look up scenes. Go see the movie first. But I just can't wait to go back and see this again. This is an amazing movie. Freaking loved it, and easily gets a 10 out of 10. Life changing. It was emotional. It was action packed. It was
teared up.
I mean, there's so many great moments. I mean, we gotta do. We haven't done a spoilers discussion in a while. But this movie's getting a freaking spoilers.
Spoiler day.
I mean, I say we might just talk about this.
We're gonna take off work for a week. Just talk about
we might have to talk about this movie every like Monday of the week or something. John Wick.
We should do a John Wick day. Everybody should. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching our non-spoiler review of John Wick Chapter 4. We both gave it 10 out of 10s. Get out, see it in the theater, support this movie, and support movies like these. But guys, seriously, guys, check it out. Let us know in the comments what you think about John Wick Chapter 4, and stay tuned for our spoilers discussion very, very soon. And spoiler discussion series for this one, honestly. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.